Good afternoon, guys, and welcome back to a lovely warm sunny day here at Nick's Veggie Patch. Got lots to be getting on with today, so I'm going to be doing some more seed sowing. I'm going to be showing you some more potatoes that I've brought, and these are main crop potatoes. I'm also going to be potting on some herbs into some baskets that we were using as flower baskets, and I've now requisitioned them, and they're going to have herbs in and also some peppers as well. I've got two varieties of peppers, and also I've got a tomato that I'm growing on. So yeah, lots to be going on with, guys, and I'll come back to you in a minute. Right, guys, so there you can see the planters that are hanging up on the wall of our house where our patio is. So the first couple are along the bottom here, they're going to have herbs in, and then the two on the top, they are going to take the peppers. So I'm going to make sure the soil in them's all good. Probably put a bit of perlite in there just to make sure there's good aeration and drainage, and then put them in, and then I'll show you what's happening with other bits and pieces around Nick's Veggie Patch. I'll show you the potatoes that I've got, which are the main crop, and any other bits that I've got to show you that we're going to be doing. I've got the concrete breeze blocks arrived now, so I can show you what we're going to be doing with them, like for the free raised beds. So I'll get the herbs and the peppers and hopefully get them in place into these pots and ready to go. The peppers will probably need a little bit more time in the warmth, but they might go in there today, but we'll have a look and we'll see what happens. So yeah, lots to get on with, and I'll come back to you guys in a minute when I've got the herbs in and possibly the peppers. Okay, so I've got the first pot hanging basket ready to go. Got some fresh compost in there from my compost bin. So and I'm just adding a little bit of some fresh compost I brought yesterday. So, and then what I'm going to do to that is I'm going to mix a bit of perlite in with that as well, give that the aeration, and then I'm going to put one of these herbs in. I'll let the lemon thyme go a little bit, but hopefully I can save that. But yeah, they're going to go into the two pots. So I've got the first one ready up to go. Then I'll drag the other one off of the wall, and I'll get that ready with the same sort of mixture going in there, and I'll get the other two herbs in there as well. So I'll crack on. So I've got my perlite in here, guys, and I'm just going to take just a tiny bit, don't want too much. About that much, just to start off the aeration process, and mix that in. And then obviously going to take my first potted herb. I think I will put the lemon thyme in there. See if I can save that. We'll see what happens. Needs to go a little bit deeper. So that's perfect there. Bring all the compost in and around it. And then once that's in and I've got him back on the wall, I will give that a good water. As you can see there though, the perlite, that's going to aerate it and help it along. So I'll get the other ones done and then I'll come back to you guys in a minute. Actually, what I'll do is I'll get the second one in here, then I'll get the other one done and dusted, and I'll show you where they go. I'll show the end result. Right, so that's the 2 herbs potted on, and hopefully we'll get some nice herbs from them. Okay, so I've got a variety of strawberry here that I'm going to pot on. Put into pots for now because I'm sorting out the raised beds. Now this is a variety called Cambridge Favourite. Now I buy a magazine called the Kitchen Garden Magazine, and sometimes in there you get free items if you purchase stuff. And they come from Sutton's Seeds. So I saw an offer from Sutton's that they were having an offer of seed packets reduced, which I'll show you what I brought later. And they had this variety of strawberry that was on offer. Obviously, as I've said, called Cambridge Favourite. It was reduced down from £8 to £4. So I've bought them on. They've been delivered. I'm going to pot them on until I can get them out into my garden somewhere. They'll probably go in the raised bed where we have flowers, and it will make a nice addition. So not only will you have those bright sort of strawberry leaves, you'll also have the wonderful strawberries in and around the flowers as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get cracking on, get some potting mix into a couple of tubs and get these strawberries potting on. They will probably stay in the greenhouse until it's warm enough for them to go out. But yeah, I'll get on with this. I'll show you the end result in a moment, guys. Right, guys, that's the strawberry plant potted on for the moment, or into these 3 pots, just until we get the raised beds sorted out where they're going to go. If they do start to come in up in them, that's not a problem. I can remove them and put them into bigger pots. But as I've said, I've used some of my own compost that I've got in my compost bin just over in the corner there. And then obviously I've mixed a bit of fresh compost that I've got from a garden centre yesterday, and I've mixed it with some perlite. They're now all ready, and they're going to go onto the shelf in the greenhouse, and hopefully they'll start coming on with luscious roots and lovely green strawberry leaves. And hopefully this year, guys, because I didn't take the strawberries I had from my allotment last year, I left them there for the gentleman who took over my plot, along with the rhubarb. I'd like to get another rhubarb eventually, but as I've said, so this is a variety called Cambridge Favourite. and hopefully this year I'll get some really lovely strawberries with it, and yeah, hopefully I'll get more to come. Right, okay guys, so I've got my 2 peppers ready to go into my 2 pots. I've got my snack pepper on the left, and I've got my bellboy pepper on the right. I've got 2 pots here ready for them to go into, but what I'm also going to be doing is I'm going to be adding some of my fresh compost that I got from the garden centre tomorrow, and that's mixed with some perlite, and they will also go in with the 2 peppers. Then they will go into my greenhouse to carry on growing, and then eventually when the frosts have gone, hopefully they'll be at a nice height. I can either put them into raised beds or I can put them into bigger pots. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take them out of their containers, put them into the pots. I'll get to that stage and then I'll show you where we're up to. So there's my bellboy sweet pepper potted onto the next sort of stage. Basically, it needs to be, you need to plant it in well-drained, fertile soil. Basically, you can grow outdoors in early summer, in a warm sort of sheltered position, or in full sun. And always, guys, always make sure you water well and you feed frequently. You can basically use tomato feed, so just some water in a watering can, bit of the tomato feed. That will help your peppers or your chilies fully have a chance to grow. Give them strong sort of stems and roots, and then basically when they start growing up high, you just hold them together with stakes. You can use wooden little stakes, or you can get plastic stakes, or you can use wires horizontal, but these will require protection from the frost. So these are going to be stored in my greenhouse. So my greenhouse has got bubble wrap. It's insulated with bubble wrap all around it pretty much. There's a couple of areas where there isn't any bubble wrap, but it will be in my greenhouse. And if I need to, I've also got white frost cloche or netting, which will also protect it. So that's the first one done up, which is the bellboy sweet pepper. Obviously when you do start to see them, they'll be green at first, but the longer you leave them, they will go red. So if you want them to develop more and you want them to go red, yeah, just let them go red. If you're happy with them being green, just pick them when they're green. So that's the first one potted on, and now I'll get straight on to potting the other sweet pepper, which is the snack pepper. Okay, so I've now potted on the one at the back, which is the snack pepper, the sweet snack pepper. I'm just going to give them a water and then I'm going to put them in the greenhouse. Hopefully we'll have some nice peppers. Right guys, every growing season I like to grow different varieties of tomatoes, and I always grow some from seed and I buy a few from a garden centre. So obviously today I've been to my local garden centre where I live. I'm a member of their club, so you get like fabulous discounts and stuff, and each month me and the wife get a free coffee. So we've been down there, had a look round. I brought a couple of bits, and I bought this tomato. this is a plum tomato and it's called Roma, the variety. Now, tomatoes have to have protection from frosts, so I'm going to be potting this one on, and then this one will be in my study that's just been redone up, and I've got a racking in there. I'll make sure it's in there in the warm, gets on the shelf, and then I will make sure it gets watered every so often. But I'm also going to be using the tomato fertilizer that I've got a container of it. I'll put some of that in with my watering can, give that a good water, and then that will help it grow on. Obviously with tomatoes, or obviously with this variety, you harvest from July through to October, and from the pot to your plate you're looking at 10 weeks plus. It's ideal for it's ideal for growing in small spaces if you haven't got much room. If you've only got a tiny little patio, you might not have a garden, but you might have a little patio. You can get the tomato grow bags, you can grow them in there, use canes for when they start growing up. And as always, tomatoes are great for sauces, and for you can also have them in sauces and pastas, salad. So yeah, I'm going to pot this one, and then this one will probably go inside my house onto my tray in the warm, and hopefully grow it on, and I'll get some nice Roma plum tomatoes. So I'm going to pot it on into this round pot because it's going to need more room than the green one it's already in. So again, I've got my mixture of compost and perlite. Just going to gently ease this out, and then pot it on in this lovely round pot, and then just gonna add a bit more of the compost mix. Basically pot it on in stages, so you don't want to be putting this into a massive pot, because otherwise you'll frighten the living hell out of it and it probably won't grow to how you want it. So just push the compost out, let's put it on, and it's got loads of room to carry on growing, and then eventually I will move it into a bigger pot or into one of my raised beds. So just a tiny bit more potting mix in there, and then I will add some of the tomato fertilizer, and we're ready to go. So just going to water that and then plunk that in a room, keep it warm, and yeah, hopefully we get some tomatoes. Okay, so today I'm going to be planting out my seed potatoes. So they're all ready to go. So I've got on the left hand side at the back, I've got the Duke of York. At the front, I've got Estima potatoes, and to the right you can see the Caledonian Pearl. And then I've got loads of potato bags, they're all going to be going in. I've got some already round where my raised planters are, and I've got another 5 here. I'll fill them with compost from my compost bin, and then I will put the potatoes in and hopefully see what happens, and we'll have some really nice potatoes. But I'll come back to you when they're all planted in and in their position. Okay, so there we have it. I've had to use a tub for one of my variety of potatoes, which is the Caledonian Pearl, because I've run out of green bags. But as you can see there, you've got the Caledonian Pearl in those two those two, and then in these here you've got the Estima and the Duke of York. So hopefully we'll be looking at a nice harvest of potatoes this year. I've also brought some main crop potatoes, but I'll show you those in another video. Okay guys, so yesterday I popped to Lidl's because at the moment they've got their gardening event going on, and they had some raised planters that they've got in there for sale. So they had 2 of them, two mini ones. One's a metal one, one's a plastic one with a lid. So I opted for the plastic one with the lid. It's got vents in it, and it's got 2 little plastic strips that you put down the middle to separate whatever you're going to be growing in it. I've already got one anyway, the metal one at the back there with the onions in. So this one, this new plastic one, that's going to be having kale and rocket salad. So I'll take the lid off and I'll show you what it looks like. So it's got 2 little plastic bits, guys, where you you turn them and it locks the lid in place so you can't pull it off. And then it's got 2 plastic vents at the top here, so you can open them up and let the air in, so it's not too hot in there. And obviously it's got the 2 plastic handles at the side that'll let in air as well. So I'll just show you it when I take it off. Comes off nice and easily. And then also if you're not going to use the lid, then the 2 little brackets where the lid slots into to shut it, it comes with 2 little plastic bits that you can slot inside when you're not using the actual lid. Now this has got, as I've said, 2 plastic inserts here, and that gives you 3 compartments. But so what I've done is I've filled it with compost already from my compost bin, and or I should say, sorry, from a raised planter we had just below our patio, which we're now going to make a breeze block one. So I took the compost from there and placed it in here, and then I put a little bit of fresh compost on top and added some perlite to it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the kale and the rocket salad in there, cover it up, leave the vents open to let the air get in. I'll close the vents at night if I know there's going to be a frost, but then they'll be fully protected and we'll have some nice kale and some nice rocket salad, and hopefully no pests will be able to get to them. So I'm going to crack on and I'm going to start filling it up, and then I'll show you what it looks like in a minute. Okay, so there we have it, the variety of kale. I think it's called Kappa, which is towards me, and then the rocket variety of rocket salad in there. I'm now going to put the lid on, leave the vents open to let the air in, and that means it'll protect it from all the pigeons and the birds and any other pests I don't want to get hold of them. Right guys, so today we've decided to build a new raised bed. So the wife has been building our new raised bed while I've been doing other stuff and getting stuff planted out, and we've built a new raised bed using breeze blocks. So we've connected it on to where we rebuilt our patio. Obviously it's not professional grade standard, but we've measured it, we've put the spirit level there, it's all nice and straight, it's all in a nice straight line. We've concreted it, and yeah, the wife has done a very good job. I helped her towards the end, but we're now going to let that set, and when it's completely set and fully dried, we'll clear all the sort of kind of soil rubble that's in there. We'll line it with black weed control membrane, and then this is going to be our new fruit raised bed. So we're going to have fruit trees in there, and I've got some Cambridge strawberries that are also going to go in there. This will be the perfect way of stopping hopefully slug snails, but we're also going to cover it over. So like I've covered over a couple of my raised planters around the side of the greenhouse, we're going to do that with this one. We're going to cover it over, we're going to make a cover for it, cover it over. That will protect the fruit trees and the strawberries. But yeah, there you go guys, a really good job. Right guys, so welcome back. A lot has been achieved at Nick's Veggie Patch over the last couple of weeks or so. So what I've decided to do is to give you a guided tour, to let you know what's been happening, and what's going on, and what we've got planned for future things down here at Nick's Veggie Patch, or as I call it in my garden. So over the last few weeks I've been building lots of stuff, having lots of changes around. So if you remember, we built this fabulous compost bin a few weeks back. That's got some nice compost in it, and also it's become a wormery where there's loads of worms. That is absolutely brilliant because the worms will help churn the compost over for me. So as you know, I watch a lot of videos with Charles Dowding, with Ben Van Heems, Hugh Richards, and other YouTubers like Dave's Allotment Garden, Jesse at Plot 37. Well, with Charles, he has an area which he is composting, and one of his compost sort of bins is what he calls his wormery. He checks it every now and then, churns it over, and he's got very good compost to use. So I thought I would do that here, but obviously the worms were already in there. But I've got some nice compost inside happening there, and this door just moves so I can open it up to scoop out any compost I need. But obviously at the moment we're having a change around in the garden. So what we're going to be doing here, where you can see our 3 wooden raised beds, we're going to be changing them, and we're going to be doing breeze block breeze block raised beds. We're going to do 2 rectangle ones. I saw something similar on a fellow YouTuber's channel that I follow, called Gardener Scott, and he did a raised bed using breeze blocks, but ones with the square holes either side, and he made up a rectangle raised bed, and then with the square holes filled them in with compost, and I think he actually put some straw in there and used them as extra planters. We're not going to do that, so we're just going to use these breeze blocks here to make 2 rectangle raised beds. And basically, as you can see, these here now, these have been changed. So I've moved the concrete paving slabs. We've got rid of them all pretty much, or gave them away, and then a few that weren't really worth kind of giving away, break them up and take them to the local tippers rubble. But yeah, so what we're going to do, the rectangle raised beds will go along here, and then I'll have a pathway down the middle so I can get either side. And then we're also going to put a raised bed or a raised planter like this along the fence there. So we'll clear all that. We'll line it with black weed sheeting, put the raised planter in, and then we'll be able to have more vegetables that side as well. But what we've done here today, or what the wife has done here today, is we've built another raised bed, but connected it onto the wall that we rebuilt, which is our patio. And we're going to be putting fruit trees in here, as well as strawbridge, the Cambridge variety, which is Cambridge favourite. So yeah, the wife has built that today. I gave her a hand towards the end because I had loads of other stuff I was also getting on with. So we're letting that now set. Once it's set, as I've said, we'll clear out what's inside it there. We'll line it with black weed membrane and then fill it with compost, and we'll have the fruit trees and the strawberry plants in there. So the strawberry plants at the moment are in my greenhouse in 3 tubs because I got them a couple of weeks ago. As you can see, they've sprung back to life. I got them from Sutton's Seeds. They came live, or as in they came absolutely fresh, ready to kind of plant out. So I've put them in pots until the raised bed is ready. So they're coming along nicely. I've got my sweet pepper bellboy, that's coming on nicely, and my sweet pepper snack pepper, that's also coming along. And then I've got some seedlings here that is just starting to come up. As you can see, this is pea proval. That is just starting to make an appearance. And then in here, I've got some broad beans germinating. They are starting to come up as well. They're called Demonica, so that's the variety. But yeah, there's lots been going on here in the greenhouse. Needs another bit of a tidy up. I've also planted out some kale and some rocket salad today, and that is in my new raised planter here, plastic raised planter that I got from Lidl's. And I'll just show you inside it very quickly, just to show you what it's what's happening in there. As you can see, lovely kale and salad rocket. The caprel is the kale, but yeah, this lid will help protect all of the kale and the rocket from unwanted pests like pigeons, birds, snails, slugs. So yeah, we've got that there. Everything else is coming along nicely here. You can see my onion sets. One of my onion sets are coming up in the raised bed, raised planter there. Some onion sets starting to come up here as well. The parsnips haven't materialized yet. And then in these green bags and one tub, I've got all my potatoes. So I've got Caledonian Pearl in the first two here. I've got Estimate in the back three and Duke of York in the front three. And then inside I will show you on the next video the new lot of potatoes that I'm going to be getting ready to chip. They are main crop varieties that I've bought, but I'll show you that in the next video. I had some spare rocket salad and a few kale plants left, so I'm going to take them to my friend Sam tonight, who is also starting out on her kind of gardening journey, and she's going to be growing stuff in her garden. As you may recall, I've given her 4 raised planters. So yeah, I'm going to give her these tonight, tell her to get them in sharpish, and hopefully she'll have some nice kale and some nice rocket. But yeah, there you go guys, all going on here, all happening, and lots more coming up very soon. Okay guys, that's it for another episode of Nick's Veggie Patch. As I've said, lots been happening in the garden over the last few weeks. And yeah, more exciting things to come. But I will catch you guys very soon in another video. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you very soon guys. As always, stay safe. If you like, thanks for subscribing to my YouTube channel, and if you like what you see, please hit the like button. If you've got people who are interested in the same sort of thing, please get them to subscribe to my channel to find more videos like this. And I'll see you very soon guys for another episode. Bye for now.